Okay, here we are today and Disruptive TV, where we're going to teach you how to give online exams at Purdue University using our state-of-the-art software technology. And today I have with me here Greg Buzzard from the
Hello.
Math Department. Say hi, Greg.
Hey, everybody.
And we're going to walk through this. So we've created, this is a software package called Gradescope. Okay, so you need to create an account on Gradescope. That's pretty easy. And we actually created a fake class here, so called fake class. And the class teaches common sense. So we click on that class right there, and you'll see that if we go under the roster, the class has two students in it, Charles Bowman and Greg Buzzard. So I have two email addresses, so I'll be able to show you that. I can also come over here and you can see, oops, that this is, see, here I'm the student, and as a student I see that I have this same fake class, okay? So now, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the assignments, and our job here is that we're going to create an exam that we can give to the students. So we'll click on create assignment here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the online assignment. This is a new tool that Gradescope has made available. And the advantages of the online assignment is it allows you to give exams that are have a window of time of availability, but a fixed exam time. So you can say, give the students 24 hours or 48 hours over which they can take the exam. And once they start it, they have to complete it in 60 minutes. So that's a pretty commonly used model for exams. So we click on that and we hit next. Okay, now we need to give the exam a name, so we'll call this midterm. So this is the midterm for our fake class. And we click over here. So today is actually March 26th. So let's say that we want to make the exam due, the window of time for 48 hours starting now. And so over here, I'll click on the 28th. So that means the student has 2 days to do it starting at 5 o'clock today. Okay, so now we click over here for enforced time limit, and you can put the amount of time in that you want the student to have to take the exam. So we'll say 60 minutes to take the exam, okay? Oops. Okay, that's sort of a bug in the code. You have to be careful doing that. So if you click in the wrong spot, it kind of clears it for some reason. So we'll put here midterm. So you know this is real because it didn't work right. So over here, 26th, and then 28th, and then we hit create assignment. Oh, 30, we have to put 60 minutes in here. Create assignment. There you go. So we've created the assignment. So now what we need to do is we actually need to fill in to create the assignment. Now, this Gradescope is pretty nice in that it supports some features that I think people with the STEM courses will like. Like I teach in engineering, Greg is in the math department, so we like to use LaTeX. So we've already created essentially a LaTeX file. Okay, so this is the ASCII and the LaTeX, but I'm going to open it. This is actually in what's called Markdown language format. So I have an application here called Markdown, which handles Markdown format. Markdown format is used, for instance, in documentation in GitHub. So I already wrote the exam in this format here, and so that I could do the demonstration. And I wrote an exam that is typical, like it starts off by instructions. It asks for the student to give their signature stating that they've seen the instructions. And then it has two questions. Question two, so question one is the instructions, because you'll see. But the question two is actually the first question. And there's a question 2 and 3, and each of the two questions have two subparts, part 1 and part 2. And here we have part 1 and part 2. And then the exam is written essentially in LaTeX. The only thing that's a little bit different is that here for the inline symbols, we use $2 signs rather than $1 that you would normally use in LaTeX. And it turns out that we're going to see that Gradescope interprets this LaTeX directly and renders it for the students to see the questions. So let's get started because this is already prepared. I'm going to be just plugging this material into the Gradescope. So over here we have the Gradescope where we're going to be designing the exam. So over here I say, okay, so the first question, I'm going to put, I'm going to make the first question 1 point, because I'm going to give 1 point for them giving the signature. And over here for the rules, I'll copy and paste that over to here in the Gradescope. Okay, now, and notice over here, you have 2 stars before and 2 stars after rules. That means rules comes out in boldface. That's sort of standard markdown language format. And okay, and there should be no line feeds. Other person, oops, is there something? I guess maybe I had an error here. So any other person than the official proctors. So that I can correct that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, so that's inserted there. Now the students are going to have to upload their signature that's going to be signed. So we click over here for insert field. So this is the field that they're going to use to answer. And the type of answer we want to give is a file upload. So the file upload, we'll see, allows the students to upload like a PDF or a TIFF file with their scanned signature. Now, interestingly...
Actually, neither one of those. I think they could upload a PNG or raster. I guess they were able to do a PDF too, right?
Right. I think they all worked. A variety of different things. So they could prepare for this, they're supposed to sign it. So they should sign like on a piece of paper and scan it, or maybe write on an annotation. But if it was a more complicated answer in LaTeX, they could have typed out the thing in LaTeX and turned it into a PDF to upload. Okay.
And do you want to include the thing to say upload your signature?
Right. That's this, right? That thing right there.
No, but you want the text there so they know what to do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, good point. So I went and grabbed this and put it in here. Now I inserted. Oops. Yeah, I inserted this. This symbol here is what creates this thing here that allows the students to upload their answer. So I inserted that by using this insert field over here, but you could just do it directly. So you just cut and paste the text directly here. And you see I got 2 of them in this case. Of course, I don't want to, so I'll remove one. But you could just edit it directly. It's quite easy. So, okay, and then I can hit save, okay, and it saves that. Now, I'm going to want to answer a second question. So the second question is this question here, which is something about continuous space Fourier transforms. I paste that in here to the second question problem. So this part of the problem just sort of states the premise of the question. And then for the actual questions, I'm going to have a sub-question here. So I put sub-question. And the sub-question then, my sub-question is going to be this thing here that I had previously written. And it says sketch f of uv and label the features in your sketch. Okay, now, so that shows up here. Now for the students to insert their solution, we have to give them something. We click over here under insert field and then file upload. And again, it puts this sequence in here. It puts in this this ASCII sequence here files. Okay, and now we want to assign some number of points to this subproblem. I'm going to have 2 subproblems for each of the questions. So maybe these will be 25 points. I'll make this 25 points. Okay, so that shows up as 24 points here. And now I'm going to have a second subproblem. So I clicked on question 2.2, and I get this subproblem here, and I plug it in here, and again, I get the same thing. Now I want to add a place for the students to upload their answers, so I can cut and paste these symbols here again, these ASCII sequence, the straight bar file, straight bar, and it gives you a place to answer. And then I save this if I choose. It's not, there's no harm in saving. Now I want to add a third question. So, I forgot. I want to make this second part of the, part 2 of question to 25 points also. So, okay, I can either do it, I can just type it in directly, 25 points. Okay, good. Now, now for the second question, this is a question about X-ray imaging. So I'll plug that in here. This question is a little bit trickier. So stay tuned. It's going to get very exciting in a moment. Okay. In this question, we actually have a figure that we have to display too. So I've actually made up the figure and saved it as a PNG. This could have been a TIFF, but I think it can be a TIFF.
No, I don't think a TIFF.
Oh, okay. It's got to be PNG. Okay. So
maybe JPEG.
Maybe JPEG will work. Okay. So now we put the cursor in the location here in that we want the image to fall, and then what I'm going to do is this. I'll copy this image over to this temp directory because it's easy for me to get at that temp directory in my directory system. And we hit here. This is the key thing. You hit Insert Images here, and then you select the image that you want. That's the image. Choose, and you upload, and then it puts it here. So those are the, these are the special commands that tell Gradescope to sort of suck in that image, and you can see now the image shows up in our exam, okay? So this is just the statement of the question. Now we have to add the sub-questions that we're gonna actually give points for. This size should be 0 points because the question, it will automatically calculate the total of the number of points by adding up the sub-point problem. So here I'll make this 25 for the first sub-point, and I'll make it, right, 25 for the second. Okay, so we got 2 sub-problems, and now we have to plug in the actual questions. So for the first question, it says write a differential equation. And the second question says solve a differential equation. Okay, and remember, we got to remember to give them a field, the students to give the field to put in their answer. So we're going to plug that in right here and plug it in right here. And now, okay, then we can save that. And now we have an exam. So the exam has, this is, question 1 is they scan in their signature to acknowledge the fact that they understand the rules, okay? Question 2 is, has a statement here, and then there's subparts 1 and 2 that have the specific questions that have points associated with them. Notice that Gradescope automatically adds the 25 points and the 25 points for parts 1 and 2 and shows it as 50, even though, so it gives the correct thing up there. Even though here it's left blank, it automatically calculates that. And the same thing here, we get the statement of the problem for question 3, and it's got a figure in it, that's correct. And then we have parts 1 and 2, each of which are 25 points. So the total number of points actually is, I guess, 101 points for our exam. So, come over here and we save.
No. You gotta, wait, that's not right.
I did something wrong.
Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Make sure you hit save. You had that problem before where it's...
Yeah, there's like a funky bug in the code where if the window is all the way at the bottom of your screen, it doesn't save correctly.
Yeah. So scroll a little bit so that the save is not way at the bottom. Scroll. scroll on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Here?
Yeah.
There we go.
No,
No, it's still not working. Okay, this is
there
very
you go.
software, so you have to fiddle around with it. So, okay, so that worked. Oh, maybe, yeah. Anyway, so that worked. So now we go back and we can look at the fake class. And the fake class now has a midterm. Now, Greg and I are going to take the exam. So we're going to go back to, I'm going to go back to Google Chrome where I'm actually a student in the class. And you'll see now my midterm is shown up. And it shows I have 1 day and 23 hours left to take the exam. So this is sort of like Ultraman's light blinking on and off. If you never stop, you'll be able to take the exam. So here we click on the midterm, and then this gives us a warning. It says, once you get this thing started, you only have an hour to do it, okay? So then I'm gonna say, start assignment, and I'm gonna go, okay. Well, here the thing is, I'm not gonna really do this because I guess, well, maybe I have some, do I have some PDFs that I could upload as answers to questions? Well, I don't know.
You might not want to go digging too far into your files.
Yeah, anything could happen. It'd be dangerous. Okay, so, okay, so, okay, I won't worry about this. So submit answer, I don't know. I didn't know the answer to anything, okay? Okay, so view your submission. Okay, my submission is terrible, but I'm gonna say, okay, so I think I've submitted, right? Okay, so now I've submitted. So now, Greg, maybe you want to do it. You could maybe come up with better answers than me. Okay. Now over here, I'm a student, but here I'm the professor in the course again. So and you can see over here, I can see my roster. Remember, there are 2 students in the course, me and Greg. Okay. So I'll go back to the assignments. We'll see that this is the midterm. Now, if I come over here, tell me when you've taken the exam, Greg.
I'm working on it. Do you want to see any of this if I actually upload some?
Yes, I will. So that would be good.
No, do you want to stop sharing your screen? I'll share mine.
Okay, so I just stopped sharing. So now you can share your screen so they can see what you're doing.
Okay. All right, can you see me now?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see, so I've got some random things that have nothing to do with this, but we'll just put those in. So we just select a file and then I go choose a PDF. These are things that I just wrote randomly for some even more fake exam we did earlier. So we select a file, select a PDF, submit.
So the student's going to need to, they can do whatever they prefer. They can write on a piece of paper and scan it with their smartphone. They can take a tablet and write on an annotation software on a tablet, or they can use LaTeX or Microsoft Word and create solutions there and save them out as either PDFs or TIFFs or whatever they choose.
Okay, so I uploaded everything for every problem that I can view my submission, and it gives me a preview of all the PDFs that I uploaded next to the questions, so I can check to see if it looks reasonable and I uploaded the right files.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I'm all done.
Oh, great. Boy, I didn't need to give you 60 minutes for this exam.
Look, you make up random answers. It makes the exam a lot easier to take.
Yeah, I know. I wish
right.
I used to get credit for random
Okay,
answers.
I'm going to put it back to you.
Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, all right. And now, okay, so coming back, so this is the fake class again. I clicked on the midterm. Now I can see, okay, progress. I don't know. Okay, so now what I can do is I click on, this is problem 1.
Yeah, right now you're grading.
I'm grading. Okay, and now I'm a grader. Okay, and I can see what the question was, and I say, oh, the first person, boy, I don't know what's wrong with him. He didn't answer anything. So I'm gonna, well, first of all, I'm gonna go over here to rubric. This is very important. I'm gonna use negative scoring. You'll see what that is. It's,
Okay, but hang on, before you do that, you can also change that, well, more generally.
oh, I can change that
If
under
if
setting.
you go back to rubric settings,
Okay. Oh, right. Rubric settings. Where's negative scoring? Do you see it? We shouldn't be like wing at this point, but maybe, hold on, where was that?
go back to the grading.
Uh,
Yeah, click on that.
wouldn't that be under settings or
Click on number 1 there.
this one? No.
No, here.
Oh, one. Okay.
No, back. Okay, yeah, click on the number 1 there. And then click on the rubric settings.
Right.
And then you go to course settings or assignment settings.
All right. Let's do that again so everybody can see that. So, okay, so yeah, okay, so when I go to, so I'm at the exam, I want to grade it. When I want to grade the exam, I click on midterm here. That's the exam. Then I click on the number 1. That's so I can start grading the first problem, okay? Now, what I do is I come over to the rubric settings. That I'm going to need to set the rubric settings because we want to use negative grading. It's a lot more convenient than using positive grading. And then from here, well, I could just select negative scoring, but the problem is that that'll only be correct for this one problem, and I'll have to go and reset it again for the other problems. So instead, I'm going to go to assignment settings, okay? And over here, I'm going to select something. What am I going to select, Greg? Or maybe you can't do it this way.
It said you could.
How about under course settings?
Yeah, what's on course settings?
Ah,
there it is. Yeah.
Negative scoring. Update course.
Yeah, there you go.
This course will always be negative scoring, which is more convenient. So come back here. I never have to do that again. So I'm done with that.
But it still didn't work.
It still didn't work. Okay, so there's a bug in it.
Yeah, it's possible you have to do that before you set up the assignment or something.
It could be. Anyway, I'm just doing it manually. So I went over here and set this to negative scoring.
Anyway, most of the people have stopped watching by now anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And then, okay, so now if it's correct, I'm going to subtract 0 points. Okay, so I get a full credit for this one. So, but my answer was incorrect. So I'm going to add a rubric here. And I said, didn't answer the question. So if you didn't answer the question, then I'm going to subtract 1 point. Okay, so I did a lousy job, so I'm giving myself a 0. Hold on.
Just click on the number 1 there.
Yeah,
there you go.
Just by the way, if you have different rubrics, you can have them all, you can have multiple ones set at the same time. So you have to make sure. If it's wrong, don't click the correct also, okay? And then for the next one, okay, Greg is a more, reads instructions better than I do. So I'm giving him a correct. So
it's not actually my signature, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, maybe your name's purple, okay? So then the next ungraded, now we're gonna go to the next problem. So we go to 2, like this, okay? So 2, and we better check to make sure that the rubric is on negative scoring because it's not, okay? So on this one, so again, same guy's problem, always does the same thing. No answer. So here, this guy, we subtract 25 points. So I'm gonna click that, get 0 credit. Next. Oh, Greg, I love his answers. Beautiful, okay, full points, okay? Next. Okay, now we're going to do this thing, same deal. Negative scoring. We shouldn't have to hit negative scoring every time. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening. Okay, I'm getting tired of this guy not giving me any answers. Give him credit anyway.
Good lesson for students, Gene. Wear your professor down. You're in good shape.
Exactly. And then, ecstatic. Okay, well, that's wonderful. Next, okay. And then, okay, 3, again, we set negative scoring. For 3, we're, okay, this is incorrect.
Wait.
Did I do something wrong? Oh, I think we got back to where I did something wrong, I think.
Well, I'm not sure why correct is minus 25 and incorrect is minus 0.
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's not right.
But I don't change that. So but the good news here is that, yeah, if you just change that to minus 0, and then change that to minus 25, the good news is that'll update anybody you marked as correct to be minus 0, and anybody you marked as incorrect is minus 25.
That's the beauty of Gradescope. So if you had 100 exams and you realize that one of your rubric entries was wrong, you change it and it corrects all the rubric entries for all the exams you've already graded, right? So this is correct. Okay, and we got one more. Again, we'll go to negative scoring. And okay, this person is at rubric empty. This is, we'll subtract 25 points. That gives a 0. And this is, we'll get Greg full credit because he's the teacher's pet. Review grades. Okay, so let's see. Bowman didn't do so well, but Buzzard did great. Okay, now we're going to publish the grades and compose email to students. So you could you could customize this and send the email, and we're going to get email, and the students could then check their grades. So let's go back. I'll be a student again. Okay, so I'll go back and be a student. This is my fake class. Okay, so I'm going to look at my midterm, and over here I can see, oh, look, I got all these problems wrong because I didn't answer them. Oh, okay.
You got one right for doing nothing.
For doing nothing because I wore the professor down. And now there could be options for resubmitting if you wanted to correct or
regrading. You can yeah.
But we're not going to worry about that here. So we didn't select those options, I don't think, when we configured the exam. So that, hopefully this kind of gets you started with how you can do an exam, a timed exam in Gradescope for your students this semester. And thanks a lot. You can send us fan mail if you choose for money, but it was nice seeing you. Take care. Bye.